So, dear students, we are at the verge of completion of our syllabus. We can wind up our syllabus in this class. I hope you have gone through all the lectures that I have sent before. All lectures are useful to you. So, if you have any doubts, so you can contact me by mail or over phone, as I said before. So, you must be ready to face your examinations. So periodically, so you study all the topics, then only you face your examination with confidence. Okay, shall we proceed? Okay. So in this class, we are going to discuss about HIV/AIDS. So this is the more general topic that you have come across earlier in your earlier classes. So I don't want to tell it much on this, even though for your better understanding I would like to add few points. Okay. So what is AIDS? What is difference between HIV and AIDS? When HIV is converted into AIDS? So I hope so you know answer for all these questions. You pause the video and think and try to answer for these questions. If you are unable to answer, so here is the answer. So AIDS, it is an acronym, stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. So AIDS is a transmissible disease that spoils, that destroys the immune system. This AIDS disease is caused by HIV virus. HIV, you know, HIV is a lentivirus. Literally, it means slow virus. Is a member of a retrovirus family that slowly attacks and destroys the immune system. You know, WBC or T cells are the defense force of our body. When these T cells are removed from our body, many other diseases will develop in our body. So ultimately, it leads to death. Particularly, the cancer is developed in our body. See, the normally cancer cells are present in our body. When the immune system gets weakened, these cancer cells will grow, and ultimately it spoils the entire organs of our body. So, what is the origin of HIV or AIDS? You know, this AIDS was discovered in the year 1983. Even though various knowledges regarding how this AIDS virus attacks the human being, how the T cells are destroyed by the HIV virus. Even though these kind of knowledges the scientists have, they didn't know the exact route for its origination. So, like a coronavirus, what China government is claiming, China is keep on saying that this coronavirus was originated from the flesh market that is situated in Wuhan city. But the other countries, including many countries, including United States of America, they are not ready to accept this idea, this philosophy. Hypothetical idea. They didn't ready to accept because they are claiming that this virus, this coronavirus, was developed in the laboratory that is situated in Wuhan city. So this was the hypothetical ideas are spreading across the world. Like coronavirus, the exact origin of HIV was not yet discovered. So one of the hypothetical idea that is it was originated from the African monkey. Most of the evidences have suggested that AIDS has spread from Africa. It has been believed that HIV is transmitted to humans from African monkey. Somebody were saying this HIV AIDS was spreading while the vaccination program, various vaccination program, um, one vaccine, polio vaccine, was given to the African people at the time. That it was contaminated with HIV virus. Even they didn't know how this HIV virus were present in the polio vaccine. That is still a question mark. So another claim, it had spread through the hepatitis via B viral vaccine in Los Angeles and New York, chickenpox vaccine in Africa. So these vaccine programs have led to the spread of HIV virus. Okay. World scenario. So nearly 90% of people are infected with the AIDS. Majority of the people are living in the developing countries. Even in developing countries, the most of the people are living in the HIV infected persons are more in the Africa. India ranks second in the world. The percentage is in the Thailand and Myanmar, South Africa. In these countries, the somewhat low when compared to our country. So in Indian scenario, largest number of infected cases have been found in Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, followed by Delhi, UP, Karnataka and Goa. In Tamil Nadu alone, till September 2003, a total of around 25 cases have been identified. So, what are the factors influencing the mode of transmission? So, particularly it spreads while the blood contact. If the HIV infected person have a blood contact with the normal healthy person, it will spread. It will spread through the needles, syringe, etc. It spreads from the mother to baby during the pregnancy or during the breastfeeding, blood transfusions, etc. The rest of the cause that you know very well. And what are the factors not influencing transmission of HIV? HIV not spreading by the following activities: tears, food and air, cough, handshake, mosquito, flies, insects bites, urine, saliva, during normal kissing, sharing of utensils, cloths, toilets, bathrooms, etc. So these activities will not spread the HIV. Functions of HIV in the body, as I said, so it destroys the T cells, which are the defense force of our body. Once T cells are removed, our immune system gets weakened, so other diseases will develop in our body. What are the symptoms? HIV, once immune system gets weakened, so various symptoms are coming into picture: fever, headache, muscle aches, joint pain, rash, diarrhea, weight loss, cough, night sweats, etc. HIV is very active inside a person's body. The virus multiplies and kills more and more T cells of the immune system. Consumption of alcohols increases the susceptibility for infections and progress of AIDS. minor symptoms, major symptoms that I have told you earlier. So, what are the tests available for HIV? This is the very important question, important 2 mark question. The ELISA test. ELISA test, that is, ELISA stands for Enzyme Linked Immunosorbent Assay. Another test, this is the confirmative test, that is Western blot test, usually administered to confirm the diagnosis. This is a Western blot test is the confirmative test for AIDS. These two tests in the last semester examination, this question was asked. This semester also, this may be asked, you go through. Okay, what are the tests available for HIV? ELISA and Western blot. Control and preventive measures of AIDS. Once a person is infected with HIV, that means so far the proper vaccine has not been discovered. The scientists had a clue from the one monkey, African monkeys. The HIV infected, AIDS infected monkeys live long, is likely to give clues about how to make an effective HIV vaccine. So, with this clue, they have discovered a vaccine, and that vaccine extends the life of HIV infected, that will not cure the HIV or AIDS. Prevention is better than cure. Basic approaches to control AIDS are education, creating awareness. We should be very careful while doing a blood transfusion, or while having the injection from the hospitals. When we donate a blood, proper counseling services. What the HIV infected persons may think, they reach their end. So that this proper counseling should be done to educate them. This is not the end. They can live longer as like the other healthy persons if they properly administer the drugs or the nutrition food. This kind of counseling should be done, that can be done over phone or in person. Drug treatment, etc. So with this, AIDS topic is over. Another very important topic, that is women and child welfare. Women welfare. Women usually suffer gender discrimination. Yes, devaluation at home itself. Say for example, if one parents have two children, assume that one is male, another one is female. If male child came to their home or returned to their home late night, he won't be asked any question. If the female child returns to their home, returns to the home even for late by half an hour, she will be questioned. She will be severely punished. This kind of discrimination and devaluation are present across our country. So they face discrimination in the workplace. They are women. They can't do. They cannot execute this kind of challenging work. This kind of discrimination they are facing in the workplace. They are facing discrimination in the matrimony, inheritance, in public life and power, particularly in the developing countries. The scenario is somewhat different in the developed countries. So most of the developing countries have this kind of women discrimination. This kind of discrimination. Need for women welfare, that I told you earlier, and objectives of women welfare. to provide education, vocational training, to generate awareness about the environment. Women, if one female is educated in the family, that is what is the meaning? So it means the entire family is educated. If one male is educated, he is only educated in the family. So, if we create an awareness among the women, they can educate the entire population in the country. So, in order to create awareness about the environment, also to improve employment opportunities, to aware problems of population, to restore dignity, status, equality, and respect for women. Objectives of a National Commission for Women. Various women cells are functioning in our country, so they are fighting for the discrimination of women in many activities. So they are now women groups who are actively take up women welfare issues, and legally constituted women cells are functioning across the country. There is separate ministry called Ministry for Environment and Child Development. They are their main function. The ministry is working towards the women and child development. Etc. Measures of various schemes are various organizations towards women welfare. National Network for Women and Mining. Here, as I said before, during the establishment of mining industries in the forest, the tribal peoples are forcibly vacated from their place to the other place. When doing so, the tribals are given compensation. While calculating the compensation, the women in the family are totally neglected. They started a movement called National Network for Women and Mining, and they are fighting for a gender audit of India's mining companies. United Nations Decade for Women. They for their effort, this many women issues are became many women issues became an international agenda. Mahila Mandals are functioning in Tamil. It is called Magalir Mandram, to create the awareness among the women of remote villages, even to empower them, train them, educate them to become economically self-dependent. Mahila Mandals, Ministry of Women and Child Development, that I have told you earlier. Another one is child development, child welfare. Children are considered to be assets of our society, because in future they may convert our country in an economically sound, scientifically developed. They may change our country like this. So they are our assets. In some places they face severe and serious humiliation. They are employed as child laborers. They are treated worst in the society. Their rights have to be preserved, have to be protected. So these child welfare programs are initiated by the government of India. Even they couldn't get a healthy food in many places, particularly in the remote villages. The children are not having good drinking water, nutrition food, recreational facilities. Many children are not having a proper education. After a few years, they are employed in various companies like cracker industry, paint industry, etc. So the United Nations General Assembly in 1959 adopted the Declaration of Rights of a Child. This became an international law in the year 1990. Reason for child labors: poverty, want of money, etc. Measures for various schemes, various organizations about child welfare, United Conventions on Right of Child are international law. This law was brought in the by United Nations in the year 1959 and became the international law in 1990. It states it provides various rights to the child. The rights of a child are a right to survival, a right of participation, freedom from thought and appropriate information to the child, right of development. It ensures education, get proper education, childhood care and support, social security and recreation. A right to protection, bold submit on children, the focused agenda for the well-being of children, targeted to be achieved in the beginning of the new millennium. Ministry, as like women, the separate ministry is functioning for a child development also, that is women and child development ministry is functioning. They are concentrating the development of women and child. Ministry of Human Resource Development is also concentrating the health of child, education of the child. They initiate various nutrition programs. The government, even the state government, is giving nutrition food in the free meal scheme in the government schools, etc. The non-governmental organizations are also functioning for the development of women and child welfare. According to the Center for Science and Environment, this is the NGO which is functioning in our country. They discovered the pesticides contamination in the Pepsi and Coke that I have told you in my earlier lecture. I hope you remembered. Okay. According to this NGO, children consume more water, food and air than adults, hence more susceptible to any environmental contamination. So it is essential to keep cleaner environment to our children for better and healthy life. Okay, women and child welfare is over. You have to write what are the schemes are given by the government of India to the women and child programs, that you have to emphasize while writing in your examinations. Another very important topic, you can find this question in almost all semester examinations. This is the final topic of this unit, a role of information technology in environment. Nowadays, without computer we can't do anything. Without mobile phone, even for 1 hour we cannot lead our life. So such a we are addicting for technology. So through information technology, this IT sector gives tremendous works for the development of our environment. It has a tremendous potential in the field of environmental education and health, as in any other field like business, economics, politics or culture. A number of software has been developed to study about the environment. The internet facilities are available. from which you can search the various environmental problems, pollutions, where is the forest fire, so what are the projects are going on. So many environmental related informations you can collect from the website. So forest fire or any encroachment in the forest areas, destruction of the forest lands, all those activities can be monitored by using satellites. Geographical information system can be clearly found out with the help of IT. When we establishing when we construct a dam, we must know whether the soil is rocky, type of rocks present in the soil. So accordingly the government can design a budget. Those informations can be collected for using GIS. We can see one by one what are the roles of IT in the in environmental protection. First one is remote sensing. Remote sensing means, what is remote sensing? So we are using our TV remotes, right? Without any physical contact, we can operate the machines, we can operate the devices. So that is called remote sensing. So that can be done using electromagnetic radiations, IR radiations, using certain magnetic field, etc. So the remote sensing is very much useful in terms of environmental protection. See here, remote sensing data and images have been used to derive thematic information on various natural resources and environment. Where thematic informations are collected, that can be analyzed with the software. See here, one example I would like to tell you for your better understanding about the remote sensing. If we have a tumor in our body, when we go to the doctor will prescribe us to take sonoscan. While the sonologist is taking the scanning our body on the tumor side, so the sonologist only can know which is tumor, which is flesh, which is bone. Those informations can be clearly understood by the concerned expert called sonologist. Likewise, those who are expert in remote sensing can analyze the thematic images. What are the natural resources available? What are the types of trees present in the forest? In one area, some endemic plants and trees would be present. The remote sensing satellite, what they remote sensing satellite do, these remote sensing satellites take the thematic images, and these thematic images can be analyzed by certain experts that will give various information about vegetative cover, water bodies, land use, etc. Applications in agriculture, the judicial use of agricultural judicious and optimal management of both land and water resources, along with the use of high yielding variety seeds, optimal fertilizers input, etc. Particularly, this remote sensing is used in agriculture to find out the moisture content, humidity content in the soil. So when we do the irrigation, how much depth the irrigated water goes into the soil, that can be found out with the help of remote sensing by passing the IR radiations, etc. In forestry, sustainable forest management requires reliable information and the type, density and extent of forest cover, wood volume, that I have told you earlier. particular endemic species, endemic plants found in the forest can be found out using this remote sensing, land cover, water resources, all those things can be found out. Another one is database. What is database? Database is a platform to collect and store the data. Various data like how many endemic species are present, how many endangered species are present in the environment, what are the vulnerable species present in the environment, how many AIDS patients are available in our country, how many personnel are working in the environmental projects, how many scientists are involving or working in the environment related projects. All those informations, all those data can be stored, and whenever we require, we can take those data from the database. Applications, database for forest and environment, AIDS data, that the number of AIDS patients in our country, all those things that I have told you earlier. National Management System, they compiled a database on R&D projects along with information about research scientists, personnel or research personnel involved in the project. This can be stored in the database. Environmental Information System, like pollutions, now biodiversity, vulnerable species, endemic species, all those informations can be stored in the database. So far we have discussed about remote sensing. The remote sensing, what is the use of remote sensing? We can analyze the objects without any physical contacts by passing electromagnetic radiations or IR radiations or certain magnetic field. Another applications of IT, that is what is that? A database. This is used to store the data. Another one, that is Geographical Information System. This remote sensing and geographical information system both are interconnected or interrelated. There the thematic images are collected by the remote sensing satellites, then we analyze it. Here those thematic images are analyzed by using a digital platform, that is called Geographical Information System. Applications, different thematic maps containing digital information on various aspects like water resources, soil type, forest land, cropland, grassland are superimposed on a layer form in computer using softwares. Interpretation of polluted zones, degraded lands can be found out. GIS can be used to check unplanned growth and related environmental problems. As I said before, the main application of GIS is to find out the nature of the rocks or soils present in the earth. While establishing the dam, the soils and rocks have to be removed in order to store the large quantities of the water. For doing so, the nature of rocks present, the nature of soils present in that particular area should be known, and then only the project and the funding funding allotment may be deferred for types of rocks present. If that rocks are very very hard, so you have to spend more money to remove those rocks. So it gives some information about prior informations about the financial allotment, etc. Next one, satellite data. Satellite data that helps and providing correct and reliable information about forest ecosystem. And there is a forest fire that can be easily found out. If there is any forest fire in the depth of the forest, it is very difficult for a forest personnel to trace out in the forest, because it's going in the mid of the forest. So the satellite data, the satellite can be used to trace out those forest fires or ozone layer depletion, months rainfall, the proper rainfall in one particular area. If there is any flood in one area, that can be found out using satellites. The monsoon arrivals is predicted using satellite data. This is helpful to the meteorological department. Finally, World Wide Web. So this is a website that can be used to search on the environmental related problems. Air pollution, noise pollution. So which place have more industrial pollutions? So those informations can be collected using the website World Wide Web. Applications. Case studies. Study on polluted backwaters of Kerala. In Kerala, one pond was polluted. What the people did is they wanted to extract a coconut, coir from the coconut husks. They soaked the coconut husks into the pond water. The water color is changed due to the immersion of these coconut husks into the water. This was found out by our Indian remote sensing satellites, and the pollution was prevented in the pond. Okay, Indian remote sensing, with the help of Indian remote sensing satellite, the pollution in the pond was found out, and now the pollution is creation of pollution is restricted in the pond. And ocean color monitor. Yes, here IRS P4 is the data has been found. Here it is used to find out on the phytoplankton's growth in the algae in the ocean. So phytoplanktons are water living algae. As I said before, it maintains the CO2 level in the atmosphere. Its growth is monitored with the help of Indian remote sensing satellite P4. Forest management. Where the deforestation, forest cover, encroachment, all those things can be found out using this GIS. Forest area in Bichwa range along the Pench river in Madhya Pradesh was surveyed using GIS and remote sensing. They collected the image and they analyzed the images. From this, they found that the deforestation rates and other ecological impacts in the forest areas. National Emission Data System. It's developed by the Environmental Protection Agency of USA. This works for coding, storage, retrieval and analysis of nationwide air emission data. And Environmental Information System, ENVISH, this is developed by Ministry of Environment and Forest by the Government of India. So it is situated in New Delhi. It has 25 different centers all over the all over our country. So they are monitoring the coastal ecology, biodiversity, types of animal species present in the forest as well as in the ocean. All those informations are collected by NVIS. Finally, a role of IT in human health. In the when you go to the doctor or when you go to the hospital, before 10 to 15 years, the records were maintained in the hospitals. When we go to the hospitals, they search the records and take and find out and trace out the medical history. It takes longer time. Now when we go to the hospital, if they enter into our ID number, immediately we can trace out our medical history. Finance and accounting, billings and all, on those days it takes longer time. Nowadays it is very very easy. Pathology, that disease spread can be easily found out using the technology. Where is the proning area for disease proning areas, what are the viruses are present in particular area, how to control the bacteria, all those informations can be easily found out using this IT. Patients administration and clinical system. Yes, if one doctor is doing surgery in India, if he has any troubles while doing surgery, if he needs a consultation from the doctor who is working in United States, that is possible with the help of IT. Online consultation is possible. And drug administration, so how many doses are to be given for one patients. If 3 doses are given, so we may get confused whether 2 doses are given or 3 doses are given. If we make an entry in the computer, we can clearly know how many doses are administered. Number of death rates and birth rates that are stored in the computer. Online consultation, epidemic diseases spread, these are all. Drugs and replacement can be administered efficiently. Okay, with this I wind up the syllabus. So I have completed the syllabus without omitting a single bit. So my responsibility is over. So you have an immense responsibility. So you study all the topics. If you then and there I post a quick quiz, I post certain assignment questions, you must respond it. When I posted a quiz questions, only few students are responding. The rest of them, they didn't respond well. This practice must be avoided. So we are doing all we are doing for the welfare of you only. Even in this lockdown situation, we are working for your development. Your cooperation is solicited. I hope you are very good children. You can respond for our request. All the best for your examinations. Then again I am emphasizing, I will post the assignments and quiz questions, so do it well. Okay, bye now.